The salah, hopefully there's no charge for that, is it? Huh? That would be sad. That would be very, very problematic, that one. Allah musta'an. But, things like this. There's also, obviously, you have to buy the coffin. Some of the masjids, they say, we have a coffin, but we will charge you £50 for this. Hey, if they have to buy it, the mosque has to buy this, yes. Then obviously. But anyway, this is another issue. This is okay to do. I don't see that being a big issue, but keeping it simple, White sheets. Many people have white sheets at home, spare big long white sheets that you sit down with everyone. This is enough for coffin. It doesn't need to be a specific material. It has to be specific, or you have to buy it from this shop here, Islamic Impressions, or Zamzam, or Jazakallah khair for the brothers who have those businesses. Mashallah, it's serving the Muslim communities, but I don't mean to kind of cut their businesses. But you know what I mean, yeah? It's very important to know these things. Okay. So the kafan, so you need to know this. And also you need to know how to hurry it up. This is the sunnah. Asri'ul janaza, kama qala alayhi salam, you should be quick. Now in this country, and in fact even in our lands of the Muslims, unfortunately as well, there is delays. There is delays for a number of reasons sometimes. So, this is it. Every mosque needs to understand these things. Oh, okay, how do you get the body from obviously once a death certificate has been given, everyone knows this stuff, yeah? The green slip, they call it, yeah, the green certificate. That's it. Once you've got it, now it's online, so once you receive it online, that will be sufficient for you to show it. Sometimes they say, no, you have to have the paper, I don't know. So there's all these things. So the first thing is the death certificates. Once you've received the death certificate, then you have to, and it can't be a photocopy like the white paper, it has to be the green, the actual one, bear this in mind. Then this has to be taken to the registrar's office. Then they will say, yes, go ahead, and you can. Now the body will be released from the hospital. You need to fill out a form. There is a form. This is the one that many people will make mistakes on. This part here. The form, you can download it from one of these websites. I don't know what website it is. Once you download that form, then that form, you have to show it to them physically. They say, yes, okay, now we'll release the body. Otherwise, if you have a loved one there, they won't release the body. And you've traveled from one place to another, then you have to go all the way there. And if they close the office, alas, they have to stay in the fridge now, next day, delayed. And the delay is sometimes us. And another very, very sad reality is when people say, well, we have cousins and uncles and aunties and all these different ancestors. They have to come here first. In Bradford, Birmingham, this is around not too far. This is like 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive. But I'm talking about from, Kashmir and all these different parts of the world, and then they will come here, and once they come here, then we are going to go ahead with the janaza. I'm going to go ahead. So let's delay the body in the fridge for another few hours. No. If it's an hour or 2 hours, we can understand maybe there is a need, there's a haja, the beloved ones are coming or something like this. I can understand this one, but not the whole day next day. No, they must do the janazah. This is it. And then we have all this other nonsense what people have in our families when they say, well, we all have to come and see the face. You never were there in the first place, and now is the time when they're dead, you want to come see their face. The last part, and then that delay, mashallah. Depends how big your families are. So, you have, hours and hours and these delays and these delays. And these things are, not, okay? So this is one thing. So bear this in mind, to hurry it up. And there must be one person in the family who needs to take a lead in these things. Seriously. And be that person. You be the person to take lead in this regard. Something happens, you should know. What's the first thing I'm going to do? This and that. Then you got to arrange it in the masjid. Sometimes the masjid has some condition. They say, you have to bring the body by 12 p.m. Otherwise we can't do the janazah because... So then you may have to find another mosque, where they do it. Not all masjids do it, as you rightfully know. So we have a lot of situations here, brothers. Go onto this course, onto this janazah course. They do it, ghusl shrouding. They did it here as well some time ago. Yeah, you do it here, So you should arrange this. This should be arranged, and this should be done, as many times you can. And sometimes it's good, and it gives you the ibrah of maut, a lesson of death, a lesson of reality. Not just the janazah and the shrouding and these things, but also that you're leaving this world, that you're going to be leaving this world. So bear that in mind, inshaAllah ta'ala. Next hadith, وعنه رضي الله عنه قال كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يجمع بين الرجلين من قتلى أحد في ثوب واحد ثم يقول أيهم أكثر أخذا للقرآن فيقدمهم في اللحد ولم يغسلوا ولم يصلي عليهم رواه البخاري. نعم.
Each pair of those clothes that were wrapped in a single garment. Then asked which one of them was the man. Then he would put him first inside of the grave. They were neither washed nor prayed upon. Reported by Imam Bukhari.
This hadith is very important, where two people were buried in the same grave for those who were killed in Uhud. In the battle of Uhud, where in Al-Madinah, Al-Munawwara, and they were in one thawb. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, who has the most Quran out of them? The most Quran was one of them. So he goes, so we're going to put him first. And they didn't do any ghusl, and they didn't وَلَمْ يُصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ, and they didn't pray upon them. Now, this is because they were the shuhada. The shuhada, as you know, the hadith, we don't do any ghusl on them because their blood will spoil, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day of judgment. This is the truth. They will be buried in their blood, in like they are. There will be no ghusl to be done on these shuhada who are killed in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one over here, it is not allowed, aslan, to put two in a grave. The reason why the Prophet ﷺ did this was because there was no space. And the haja and the necessity became a necessity, very importantly. So this mas'ala now has been presented to some of the scholars here, or some of the mashayikh in this country. And this mas'ala has come up, and the fatwa has been given that it will be permissible if there is a need. Like now, in the graveyards, the Muslim cemeteries, mashallah, they do have land, but there are a lot of people passing away on a daily basis. How many people die? Have you done the statistics? Just in that graveyard, there were 4, sometimes 8, they say, sometimes 7, 6, 5, almost on a daily basis. Given miss 1 or 2 days, maybe less or so, but let's say between 3 to 5 amwat who have passed away in that day. Can you imagine how much you need? How many, if everyone's going to have their own? How many? It's a lot. So will come a time where they will have to, and I think that time is very close, unless there's another land that they can buy, and if they cannot do this, then they will have to bury inside, double. So when you open the grave, it's planks already, because the mayyit is underneath, then they will have to, on this one, make another plank, and then, So this is the reality of the matter, and this is something that will have to be done, especially in a place like here. So sometimes people will not like this, But if they have the fiqh, unless there's another place. Well, alhamdulillah, we do have a lot of other graveyards, Muslim graveyards. Now, another issue that people ask about is, can the mayyit be buried where there are non-Muslims also buried there? But we have a specific section barred off the Muslims. The problem is that sometimes, because the rules and the law and all of this, they mix it up sometimes. So you'll find Muslims, and you'll find a few graves which are non-Muslims as well, which is a problem. Lakin, as scholars they even say, "Ardullah wasi'," and the earth of Allah is vast, and it is the earth belongs to Allah, sah? The earth belongs to Allah. So in cases of shiddah and difficulty like this, I don't think Allah knows best. It's a serious matter, especially if you have done everything and they've given you a place of the Muslims, but there were some ishkalat there. But it's better to be only in the Muslim cemetery. This is the asl, and it's the sunnah, and we shouldn't turn away from this. This is the first thing you should do always. No, this is the way we're going to go. And this one is, very important. Some people have plots and they have bought it in advance. They have these, some people. So this is known as well. Anyway, Wallahu a'lam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Now, no question? Someone had a question? No? Yes, Tawad. نعم يعني the shuhada, the scholars they say the shuhada like this, they are not to be prayed upon. فلا يغسلون. I will read to you something over here as it says. Over here it mentions, as the Shaykh, إن الشهيد لا يغسل ليبقى دمه عليه فلا يذهب أثر الجهاد والشهادة عنه فهي مفخرة يوم القيامة على رؤوس الخلائق إذا جاء يجرح بجروحه التي تثعب مسكا بلون الدم ولا يصلى عليه لأن الصلاة شفاعة له لتكفير ذنوبه وقد كفرت الشهداء ذنوبه وطهرته فهو في غنى عنها بفضل ربه ومنته عليه. وكذلك رواية في صحيح البخاري أمر في شهداء أحد بدفنهم بدمائهم ولم يغسل ولم يصلي عليهم. نعم. Here we learn, this is a very good one, as mentioned by the Shaykh al-Bassam, he mentions over here, that the shaheed, there is no ghusl upon him. Why? So his blood will stay. And the signs of the warfare and the shahada will stay there, and it will be a proudness of that person being proud on the day of judgment, the blood. So this is why there's no ghusl, as we said earlier. Same thing, there should be no salah upon that person. Why? Because the salah is a shafa'ah, is an intercession for him in order for his sins to be forgiven. But the shahada of these people have been has been confirmed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven their sins and has purified them. So they are free from this. So by praying salah upon them, there is no need for this. Like the hadith of Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith of Jabir radiallahu anhu wa arda, where the Prophet ﷺ ordered the shuhada of Uhud, this is in Bukhari, the martyrs of Uhud, to bury them with their blood and not perform ghusl and not pray upon them. وَلَمْ يُصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ. This is it. Now. This is against the sunnah completely. Even if they wrote a will, even if it's a wasiyah. And many they do this, they say, I write a will that if I die, I'll be buried in Pakistan in this cemetery, or in this country in this cemetery. This is khilaf al-sunnah. You died in the place where you have where you have died, khalas. And if you, let's just say you're going to be buried down there, Are you trying to say that you are now, you died in a Muslim country? This is the argument. This is what it is. Huh? Yes. Why? Why is it better to go for your body to be taken and delayed? Number one, delaying your dafn, delaying your kafan and dafn, and to go all the way to another country. Number one. Number two, what's the hikmah in not being, especially when you have a Muslim cemetery? Visit. Yeah, there is no. Visiting has nothing to do with the dafn and the kafan. A dua is from anywhere. There is no sunnah that you should go to the grave and make dua for the person in the grave. Yani, you understand? One second. Guys, I'll explain it once and I think it will be clear, inshallah. Yeah. My view, but by the way, my view, if you have a view, that's your view, okay? I'm not here to force anyone. No, let me just finish. Jazakallah khair. I'm not here to force anyone's views. This is your view. I speak from Dalil and Quran and Sunnah. If you have Quran and Sunnah Dalil, then you can convince me. I will be convinced. But if you don't have Quran, Sunnah, Dalil, then I can't be convinced, inshallah. There is no sunnah of Rasulullah that you should go and visit the person who died so you can make dua for him in that specific place. Yes, there is the sunnah which is dua. When Nabi said, Al-waladu salih yad'u lahu, the pious son will make dua for him. But Nabi never said, Al-waladu salihu yad'u lahu fi qabrihi, in his graveyard. Number one, yeah. Now some say, but you have to visit the graves. Yes, sahih. I believe in visiting the graveyards. And I believe in going there in order for you to remember your death. And that is a clear hadith where Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, he said, كما قال, he said, كنت نهيتكم عن زيارة القبور. I used to forbid you from going to the graveyards, but now visit them. فإنها تذكر الآخر. For verily it reminds you of the hereafter. But there's no such thing as families should go and visit that. Sahih, if I go to my graveyard, if I go to a graveyard and my father rahimahullah is buried there, I will pass by, a remembrance. But I'm not going there. Let me go to my father's grave. This is another issue. Let me go to my father's grave and let me just go there and sit there and, they make dua for him. La abadan. Or sometimes I may just go for grave. I won't even go there purposely. Not out of any bad feeling, but because there is no meaning. Rather, this will lead to ghulu. And any time I've gone to my father's grave, I've been crying. I can't hold myself. So I don't like that, aslan, because it's not the right thing to do. But I go to the graveyard to remember death. This is the sunnah. As for dua, all the time. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ. But when we are talking about, but in the graveyard, over there where you visit your family, I know, out of your love and your hearts, and when the woman, she came to her son's grave and she was crying, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, in sabarti lakil jannah. He said, if you are patient, you'll have jannah. Meaning, don't do this. Don't be here, go home. This is the what Nabi Sallallahu, and this is the dalil of this matter. So in my opinion, with due respect to your opinions, I do not feel it is sunnah at all to visit the graveyard to make dua there. I feel it is sunnah to go to the graveyard to remember your death. And if you went to the place where your family was married, there is no harm. But not to specifically make dua over there. Yeah? The sunnah is say, Assalamu alaikum bi ahli al-qubur min al-muslimin wal-muslimat wal-mu'minin wal-mu'minat wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahiqun nasallallahu lana wa lakum al-afi. This is the dua for all the Muslims. This is my opinion. Yani. If you feel that, no, but I feel, I don't know. None of the other thing is from the sunnah in my opinion. Fahim? You understand? Okay, now tell me what the khilaf is. Tafaddal. This land is not the land of Muslim, yes, I understand that.
Land in Muslim, many people can be for all of them. Yeah, but here is the Muslim country.
No, okay, he has a good point. What he's trying to say is that we should avoid the aslan. Look, Sheikh, look, the thing is the delay. See, my issue is it's going to be delayed. Kafan and dafan.
Here, the people when you go inside.
You're punishing the mayyit by delaying the kafan and dafan. Secondly, okay, if we were saying, I will agree to this view if, Allah alam, if we said that the non-Muslims are breaking all the graves of the Muslims and they're not allowing us to be buried. This is different. You die here, you send the body home. This is allowed. That's not happening, alhamdulillah, and we have been given our maqabir, we have been given our mosques. Maqabir is not mosques, but we've been given our mosques as well, and we've been given our graveyards as well, and we've allowed to bury just the Muslims there. So I don't see it being, and this fatwa was the fatwa of Sheikh Dr. Suhaib Hassan as well. He was put this question in writing about regarding someone who writes a will, who says, I want to be buried elsewhere whilst he died over here. Sheikh said this is not permissible. I read that fatwa in the most nitty detail. I remember that. And this is the fatwa of many of the ulama. But the other question is, yes, a person should try and live in the land of the Muslims. But, yani, now the question is, this is another question. Where the land of the Muslims?
It's no easy traveling there. Passed away. Different country. Now it's very easy.
Traveling.
Yeah. Send it back home. Easy. Now before it's not easy. That's why maybe.
Would you say how long would it take to get to the land of Muslims?
Yeah, maybe.
Now, 1 second, 6-7 hours and
5 hours in Egypt, 6 hours in Middle East, 7 hours.
and here by the time 1 hour, 1 hour. If you're buried here, 1 hour after the janaza, 1 hour, 2 hours.
By the time we can
No, but they've held the body here for 2 days. Then you're going to send them to Pakistan for another 1 day. That's 3 days. Being held over here is no choice. This is khalas. You can't do anything. Yeah. If they're not going to release the body, then what do you do, Sheikh? Now, 1 second. Let's just do one question at a time, Sheikh. Yeah. So if you have not, if they don't release the body, this is different. This is like khalas. You don't have a choice. So then you have to wait. But when the body comes, then the janazah, then the ghusl and kafan. So you're going to leave the ghusl and kafan is going to take place back home. So you're going to delay that. It's not going to be 5 hours. Airport timing for, this is international departure. 3 hours you have to get there, maybe even more because of the body. Let's say 4 or 5 hours in advance. 2-3 hours traveling. That's a whole day gone. That's one whole day gone. The second day, this, you with me? It's a very, in my opinion, Allahu A'lam, I do not see this being the sunnah. Unless there is a need for this, and the need is more than burying them immediately. The need is very, very serious. Whatever the reasons are, the scholars will give the fatwa on this. And this mas'ala needs to go back to the senior scholars, not me. You know, you're asking this, or we'll be having a discussion, but as for the hukm of what needs to be done for a specific case, it has to be taken to the senior scholars. They have to say, okay, in this case, that maybe this for you will be allowed because of the situation. It will cause a lot of fasad, a lot of fitna, for an example. Some cases, some scholars do say you have to look at the benefits and the, okay, so I say this, if you want to, say this, but generally, it is not permissible. Yeah, this is my view on this. Okay, inshallah. Your question, brother?
No, not my question. Why then some sheikhs come and sit here and say the same word what he said? They say this land is not ours. So not very.
Sheikh, the khilaf is known from the time of Sahaba radiallahu anhum, Tabi'een, khilaf, everyone has their view, Sheikh, but
Concrete man. There's a problem. Why they come and give wrong
Sheikh, listen, it's not about wrong, this is mas'ala ijtihadiyya. Someone will have a different view based on some, like I said, haja, darura, necessity. I'm telling you, the sunnah is to hurry up. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam kama qala, asri'ul janaza. What does this mean? Forget about what the Shaykh said and what I say as well. Forget us. Forget everybody. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, asri'ul janaza. He said, hurry it up. What does this mean? Does it mean to send the body back home because it's not a Muslim country? Or does it mean to bury them straight away? I'm basing it on this. Tell me. Straight away.
Then we are keep quiet for 2 days in the rules and regulations, but we can't send 1 day for our family.
What rules, regulations now?
Yeah, situation.
Yeah, but that's because you don't have a choice.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So we
see,
don't
Sheikh,
have
there's
choice, then
a...
we have to go for 2 days, a weekend, and we have the choice also.
Where you don't have a choice, Ibn Halal,
There's no respect for here, for elders, everyone, and for the graveyard. They make the shoes, everything in the graveyard. No, I'm just asking.
take the question to the Muslim cemetery. Brother Ahmad,
Clear my doubt.
Brother, say Allahumma salli ala an-Nabi. Say this. Say Allahumma salli ala an-Nabi. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Relax. Brother, take this question to the Muslim cemetery. Speak to them and ask them these questions. Very good questions. Seriously. I'm not taking anything personally, believe it or not. Alhamdulillah, I think it's a good thing what you're saying. And we should take this. And these questions are not like easily, because we are living under, we're not living in the land of Muslims. Your point is, to some extent, you have a good point. But I'm telling you what the sunnah is to hurry the janazah up. As for what they do in a Muslim cemetery and what they do in the hospitals, and they delay, and they do post-mortem at times, they do things, some things you have no choice over. What are you going to do?
You're right, Alhamdulillah.
If they say, we can't release the body because there are some investigation, what are you going to do? You're going to take the body and take it away? They will put you in prison. Huh? You can request and say, Islamically, we're not, you can do what you can, but there is only going to be a certain extent, yeah? تفضل. That's bid'ah, absolutely the perfect definition of bid'ah. This is not in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because now we are bringing something new to the deen. وَكُلَّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَ وَكُلَّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. Anything new to the deen is in the fire. Specifying a time, specifying a day, specifying birthdays like some people do. Specifying, or like on the day of Eid. They say, well, our father or Fulan has passed away, they didn't spend Eid with us, let's go spend Eid with him in the grave. Well, you guys go, I'm not going. Seriously, like with due respect, yani. But this is not. This is major Eid. I don't know what type of Eid that is. But the reality of the matter is, we have to look at what the Prophet ﷺ did. When did the Prophet ﷺ do this? When did he say, let us visit the graves, let's everyone come together, Ya Sabaha, everyone, all the Sahaba, and everyone come together and we go into the grave and we just go and make dua for the mayyit there. Abadan, nihaiyan. La yugad. Naam. and the body can't be found? What do you mean, say that again? Yeah. No, but how? The body must be kept safe then, and can he not take the body? How? Yeah. No. Yeah, they preserve the body. These are cases. These are cases which are hajat, which are necessity. This is a perfect example of a necessity. I can tell you love your chemistry. Now, so these cases, yes, you have to preserve the body. Look, brother, like for an example, okay, what about the case where the body is not found but confirmed dead? Yeah, these cases. You know. And the issue regarding janaza on the people who, like the Prophet ﷺ prayed Salatul Ghaib, this is Salatul Ghaib, and he prayed on the Najashi, yeah, and he prayed on him, and whilst he's in Medina, and the Najashi is where? Habash, there, yeah. So can you imagine this? Yes, this took place because he was he was a malik, he was a king, and therefore he is among the people who are known as the people of ashraf, people of tribe, and people of honor, you know. So, and he was a Muslim, and he passed away. Jibril alayhi salam informed him, and Allah alam, and he prayed. Nabi prayed upon the Janashi. This is a prayer. Allah knows best about the hukm of what will happen to a person who practiced bid'ah. If he is among the people who are upon Al-Tawhid, and he tried and he didn't know ilm, maybe he's an elderly individual, then we ask Allah to forgive that person, and inshallah he is not the same as the person who knows and fights with dalil and says this is dalil, and he fights and says I'm not accepting. But this is more ashad, more worse. Yes. Yeah, this is hukman. Yeah, this is why I said this is hukman shaheed, not haqiqatan. No, it's not it's the same as the shaheed in the battle. But this is different. Yeah. No. The writing on the grave is not allowed, aslan, haram. Even the name. But if they say you have to, or the need of this, and they say it's part of the law, this is different. But it's better to have a not on the grave, like a plate. Even this, aslan, but because of no choice. Yeah, if you don't have a choice. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah said the matter of the grave is like this. Once a person is buried, that's it, end of. You don't need to visit this grave ever again. You don't need to do. This is his words, kalam, Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah. And he said this, and I read this fatwa as well, because the person is now in the masir of the hereafter. Yeah, and what you can do is dua for him, sadaqah on his behalf, pay off his debts, and make dua for him all the time. The dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Rabbi ighfir li wa li walidayya wa lil mu'minin, not at their graves. In fact, the ma'rifah of the anbiya didn't even perhaps know where the graves are. Or we don't have any texts on this that any of the anbiya went to the grave of their father or any of this. Sunnah al-Mursaleen is known. This is a mas'ala very important. This is why, Sheikh, look, listen, one second, Sheikh. There is so much grave worshipping. Even if we say, for argument's sake, it's okay to go there to make dua for them. Mathalan, this is not the case. But let's say, I will say we apply this rule. It's called Sadd al-Dhari'a in Islam. Sadd al-Dhari'a, which is block this pathway because it is leading to a worse thing. Like the scholars, they say about ta'weeth, wearing this wristband. They said if it has Quran, there were some scholars who said it's okay, so long you're thinking Allah, there is this qawl. But the scholars later, they said no, even this is haram now. Why? They said because it's leading to shirk and kufr, and leading to shirk and kufr is the worst thing ever. So yes, in the graveyards, people do all sorts of things. They worship the graves, they ask the dead for help. Trust me, we've seen people. People are asking the dead they're saying, please help us. Please do this for us. They're doing, this is major shirk. You out of the fold of Islam, a'yadhu billah, if you do this. Yeah? And if anyone says to me, no, but I heard this sheikh on YouTube, he was saying this and this and that. Just tell me from Quran, ayat and hadith. Just bring that. And the hadith has to be a good takhrij and sahih sunnah. Yeah, it's not going to work, believe me or not. Yeah? We ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive our sins. Hey, now, last question. Yes? And it's going back to square one. Visiting the graves of your mother and father, I said there's nothing wrong in this. I didn't say this is wrong. But going there specifically for making dua. No. But he did not make dua for his mother. Yes. But visiting graves is okay. Visiting the graveyards is okay. I never said visiting your mother or your father who passed away, don't visit them. I didn't say this. I visited my own father, Rahimah's grave. I don't have an issue with that. Okay, Jazakum Allahu khaira. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
One last question, Sheikh. When the person...
Everyone keeps saying last question, mashallah. Today is a very interesting day. Allahu Akbar. We have to take this video off, yeah?
person dies in Ihram, does he need to be given or
We're coming to that hadith. There's a discussion on that one.
Yeah.
Next week, inshallah. Barakallahu fi. والله ما ادري يا شيخ، هذه المسائل يا شيخ والله كثير سخيفه، والله ما اعرف، نسال الله العافيه. لا يعني السنه